fighting, it's such a like a mental game as much as it is like a physical game. And I've had fighters on here talking about like doing meditation before or reading books. Like, what do you do to prepare mentally for those battles that you get into?
I do read a lot of books. I watch a lot of Kobe Bryant videos.
Okay.
To get me prepped, and well, just a lot of basketball videos, like the Detroit Bad Boys from '92, and like lots of videos like that. But
yeah,
and then I just read a lot of like motivational books or like mental toughness books to get me amped up and ready to go.
Paige, you're a kickboxer and MMA fighter based out there in Washington. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Let's go back to the beginning. I mean, I like to kind of find out, like, where did you grow up and what was childhood like for you?
I grew up in Michigan.
Okay.
Utah and Michigan. And childhood was okay. It was childhood.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. And like, you get into MMA or kickboxing, things like that, and then you decide that you want to pursue this thing. What's the reaction from your family when you're like, I'm going to go step into this cage and lock in there?
I think at first they were like, okay. Like kind of, we're just like, okay, whatever. But I think now they're just really happy that I've found something that I love and that I'm happy doing it.
Yeah. Who was it that inspired you to kind of go that route, go into MMA or do combat sports?
Well, I started just doing like cardio kickboxing. And then I watched the fights, and Stanley kind of got me into MMA, and then I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Tapology, I think if it's correct, it like shows that you had your first MMA fight back in 2017. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then always interesting, but like, for this first fight, what are you feeling backstage? And as you're walking out to the cage there, and then you get your hand raised, what's the emotions going through your mind right then?
Well, that first MMA fight, that was my second amateur fight. The first one was a kickboxing fight, but
gotcha.
That amateur MMA fight was the first time I'd ever done MMA, and I had really only trained kickboxing.
Okay.
So I did a lot of, we practiced a lot of like defense and ground stuff. And so I was just really excited that my hard work paid off.
Yeah.
When I got the win, it was like meant a lot to me.
Do you have any like backstage rituals that you do, or, like dancing or singing or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a ritual. I usually FaceTime my little sister, okay, and I watch Harry Potter. And then before I leave to the rules meeting, I have a Taylor Swift dance party.
Come on, that's awesome. Yeah, like everybody loves T Swift.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
Get all the wiggles out. So.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Then, 2018, you fight Riley Simmons out there at Rumble the Roseland. You end up coming short there in the second round. But how do you handle losses? Like, I'm always curious, like mentally, like, do you want to go right back to the gym and start training again? Or do you take a break, or do you go watch the tape, see what went wrong? Like, what, how do you handle those losses?
Well, I always watch the tapes, like usually right after in the backstage. I like to watch the fight. But I kind of just always want to get back in there and be like, okay, well, let's fix what I did wrong. And I want to fight again and fix it.
Yep.
Just get better.
Awesome. And you talked a little bit earlier before we started the show here that like you're early riser. Like, is there a morning routine that kind of helps you start your day off right to kind of make it a good day?
I like to wake up early. I start work at 7. So I like to wake up and kind of be awake and ready for work. So I wake up around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I do like, I either go for a run or like ride the bike, and just to get the blood flowing. And then I have breakfast and go to work.
Yeah. Awesome. And fighting, it's such a like a mental game as much as it is like a physical game. And I've had fighters on here talking about like doing meditation before or reading books. Like, what do you do to prepare mentally for those battles that you get into?
I do read a lot of books. I watch a lot of Kobe Bryant videos.
Okay.
To get me prepped, and well, just a lot of basketball videos, like the Detroit Bad Boys from '92, and like lots of videos like that. But
yeah.
And then I just read a lot of like motivational books or like mental toughness books to get me amped up and ready to go.
I love it. Love it. And then now you've got this fight like coming up here in February at World Class Fight League. I think it's out in Florida, right? You're fighting Lorette Nordello. She's undefeated fighter. And then you're obviously going down to her kind of home state there for this fight. Like, do you train specifically for your opponents, or do you have kind of this general plan, training plan that you like to stick to?
We like gear some stuff towards opponents, but I think it's just all about getting better and sharpening your skills.
Yep.
I just let my coaches handle that, and I just do whatever they tell me. Right.
And when you're in there, are you able to kind of block everything out and listen to your coaches, or do you get in there and kind of, it's just beast mode, right? time to go to town, or are you able to actually hear your coaches pretty clear when you're fighting?
I usually can hear them pretty clearly. I think it's definitely like a learned skill. I think at first it was hard to hear my coaches, but I've definitely worked on like getting in the zone and kind of just once my walkout song comes on, I don't even really hear the song. I just walk out and then I'm only focus on my coach's voice.
Yeah. Do you use the same walkout song for all your fights?
No, I change it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I wanted to shift to some fun questions here. I've got these things are called pod decks, essentially just random questions.
Okay. All right.
I'll pull one out here and hopefully it's not a flop, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. This says, what's your worst roommate or house guest story?
I think probably just in college, like having like drunk people sleep on your couch or like throw up on your couch or something.
Oh, that's never good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of like a specific time, but I'm like,
yeah,
you know, college party days when people stay over and you're like, okay, can you just leave?
Right. You wake up, you're like, I don't even know that person on the couch.
Yeah.
Totally. Been there for sure.
Yeah.
What's the number of tattoos that you have?
I have, I think 10 tattoos.
Okay. And I saw you post a really cool Christmas photo with a cat.
Yeah.
Cat. Such a great photo. Do you just have one cat, or what's the number of cats that you have?
I used to have 2, but now I just have 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
Just 1 cat.
Sweet. Best Christmas photo ever, by the way. Love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I had fun doing that. I was going to get a tree and I was like, well, I'm not really home and it's a lot of work. So I just made one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Last
fun.
question for you. I'm a music guy, so I love to ask this question. Like, what's a favorite band for you? Or do you have a favorite type of music that you like to listen to?
I really like hip hop.
Okay.
Music. So I listen to a lot of like hip hop and R&B.
Nice.
But I'll listen to anything.
Okay. Very cool. Well, it's such an honor, Paige, to have you on my show. I always love connecting with fighters, especially from, the Northwest area where I'm from, out in that area originally. And just want to say thank you so much for your time. But I also want to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to coaches, teammates, sponsors, gyms, whatever you want. The camera's all yours.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to my gym, Vital Jiu Jitsu. My training partners and coaches, they're all really great. And to Sean Weissenberg, he's been my coach, one of my coaches since the very beginning. Without him, I don't think I would be where I am. He's got me through a lot. So
very cool.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, Paige, again, this was so good. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm excited to see you fight at World Class Fight League here at the end of this month. I'm looking forward to seeing you get that hand raised again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I really appreciate it. If it brought you any value, please leave a rating and review below. Please go subscribe to our podcast, all of our channels on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Rumble. Look, we're on all the formats. We want to continue to grow this show and continue to bring you value. So thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Have an awesome day.